This is no Kennedy Center, but just a cattle shed. But one has to do with whatever little one has, just like Kerala does brilliantly with what little resources it has. I speak from one crazy Kerala, the United States of Travancore, Kochi and Malabar. We are primarily a collection of 35 million protesters who oppose everything from tractors and computers to OTT movie releases and beer pubs and IT parks. And we're licking our lips for the next fantastic opportunities to oppose cryptocurrency and autonomous cars. I speak from one Kerala where our literacy is 100% for many decades, but we can't figure out why only we don't have jobs and our BTechs and MComs have to go to some distant South Korean island to work on onion farms. I speak from Kerala where when the UDF rules we have no water, when the LDF rules we drown in floods, and we are always drowning in liquor to keep our government afloat. I speak from Kerala where we are highly politicized, every man, woman, child and thing. So we are certain that all the greenery around is a conspiracy of the Indian Union Muslim League. And the blue skies have a leaning towards the Congress, and the red earth under our feet is certainly fertile ground for communism. I speak from Kerala, where our politics and protests manifest in flag posts. 42,347 of them across the state. The state government counted last week and told the High Court. And the High Court told there must be at least double that number. But we can't count the number of houses destroyed in the recent floods. Oh! I speak from Kerala, where not just political parties split, but even the earth is splitting under our feet in recent landslides. But we are confident we can put them together by forming a human chain. I speak from Kerala. We are always talking about women empowerment, but we torture the same women for dowry and take their lives using knives, guns, and lately a cobra. Oh! I speak from Kerala, where we take pride in our toilets. We are not like Uttar Pradesh. But it just so happened that this month a 92-year-old man slipped on human waste, excreta if you will, dumped by the roadside in Kochi, our commercial capital, and died. Oh shit. I speak from Kerala, where we have the richest temple in the whole world, with over ₹1 trillion worth of treasures in its as yet unopened underground vaults, and a government that keeps its fabulous human resources locked up with its immovable and corrupt bureaucracy. Oh! I speak from Kerala, where we take great pride in seeing our sons and daughters getting jobs abroad, and then flinch over the 620 registered and about 1,000 unregistered old age homes, or 115 old age homes in every district. Oh! I speak from Kerala, where we take away the Malayalam alphabet from primary classes and applaud when the University of Texas at Austin starts a Malayalam program. Oh! I speak from Kerala, where we hold investor meets every few years, offering them single window clearances. But when the investors do come in, we show them multiple exit doors with protests, hartals and red tape. Oh! I speak from Kerala, where we oppose all monopolies, but we hold a monopoly over hypocrisy. We agitate all our lives against capitalism and then find work with some bourgeois. I speak from Kerala, where we are highly intellectual. So when Ambassador T.P. Srinivasan interviews magician Gopinath Muthukad, it gets 243 views. When dubbing artist Bhagyalakshmi slaps a YouTube abuser, it gets 200,000 plus views. I speak from Kerala, where we learn our lessons very well thanks to our good education. We build the Palarivattam bridge at 420 million rupees. When it collapses, we learn and rebuild it at 270 million rupees. Oh! I speak from Kerala, where we are mostly Hindus, Muslims and Christians. We are united by the government food kit and divided by the halal food spit. I speak from Kerala, where in the rainy season we discuss the impending collapse of the Mullaperiyar Dam, and in all seasons we discuss politics. I speak from God's own country, Kerala, where we don't work for a living. God's country is heaven, and in heaven nobody works. So we extract no kukuli or gawking fee from people who do work. How dare they work in heaven? I speak from Kerala, which is the world's recruitment center. Our nurses for the NHS in the UK, our techies for the US, and ISIS volunteers for Iraq, Syria, and Afghanistan. Nobody hires our politicians though. I speak from Kerala, where half the state cries, "Save us from Pinarayi Vijayan," and the other half cries, "Save us from Narendra Modi." But nobody cries, "Save us from Congress," because the Congress cries to Kerala, "Save us from extinction," by electing Rahul Gandhi from Wayanad. I speak from Kerala, far from India's deadly borders with Pakistan and China. Our standing army runs into millions, which spews online abuse. When Maria Sharapova says she doesn't know Sachin Tendulkar, the Malayali online abuse army drowns her in cyber obscenity. We call it Pongala. I speak from Kerala, where we are highly intellectual and we are the wisest. Our next goal is to make everybody a PhD. We are almost there. Just that once in a while, a confident trickster like Monson Mavunkal takes all of us for a ride, including our DGP, ADGP, a cardinal, priests, politicians, and journalists. I speak from Kerala, where we imbibe global best practices. So our ministers go to the Netherlands to study how to give room to the river. And in the next floods, we have the river in our rooms. I speak from Kerala, where we are scared of floods, but we are not scared of poor governance. I speak from Kerala, where we buy almost all our food from outside the state, but our state is littered with agricultural offices and agri-academies. I speak from Kerala, where almost no one knows when a Keralite, Sajan Pillai's company, debuts on NASDAQ last week, but we have a weak saturation coverage when a certain Cherian Philip, who left the Congress party 20 years ago, returns to his Tharavard, which is nearly non-existent. I speak from Kerala, a banana-consuming state. So our spines are made of banana trunks. When terrorists chop off the palm of a professor, we sack the professor and drive his wife to suicide. I speak from Kerala, a state very much unlike the rest of India. India does not like the truth of it being told outside of India. But Keralites don't mind, because in any case, large numbers of Keralites are outside the state. And Keralites know that the internet arrived many decades ago. Thank you folks for your kind attention. We are the cattle class of India.